Good evening and welcome to Foxborough's Conservation Commission meeting of January 13th, 2025, at the Gala Meeting Room, Town Hall, Foxborough. The meeting will be broadcast live and is recorded by Foxborough Cable Access. With that, I'll open the meeting. Do we have any public comments? Do we have some minutes?
Yeah, Rebecca can do the minutes.
Rebecca? Do you have some minutes?
Hi there, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yep, I have the minutes from the 10/28 meeting. Diana prepared them and I reviewed them. I found them detailed and complete, and I didn't have any changes or additions to them. So I'll make a motion to approve the minutes unless anybody else had changes.
Do I, any questions, comments? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
You gotta do roll call.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Rich, aye.
Rebecca Kelly, aye.
Tanya Orlando, aye.
Bob Bodie, aye.
David Opatka, aye.
Peter Tanasoff, aye.
Any negatives? Okay. What about the 25th?
Yep, I also reviewed the minutes from November 25th, and again, they were detailed and complete, and I didn't have any changes or additions. I'd make a motion to approve those minutes.
Anybody else? Okay.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Rich, aye.
Rebecca Kelly, aye.
Tanya Orlando, aye.
Bob Bodie, aye.
David Opatka, aye.
Pete, aye.
Do the 9th?
So I don't have the ones, I looked at the minutes for the 9th, but I was not at that meeting and I wasn't able to view the recording of it yet. So I haven't
Okay.
reviewed the minutes.
We'll hold those then. Thank you. It's 7:05. We have a NOI for Alden Street, 24 Alden Street. Yeah.
It's Alden Street,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Excuse me. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetlands Protection Act, and Foxborough Wetlands Protection Bylaw, Chapter 267, the Conservation Commission will open a public hearing on Monday, January 13th, 2025 at 7:05 PM in the Gala Meeting Room, Foxborough Town Hall, 40 South Street, or via Zoom on a notice of intent filed by Michael and Susan Blanchard for an addition of a two-car garage, front porch, and rear deck at 24 Alden Street, Assessors Map 110, Parcel 14. Portions of the proposed work lie within 100 feet of a resource area. The application is available for public inspection in the Conservation Office at Town Hall. This notice can also be found on the Massachusetts Newspaper Publishers Association website.
Good evening, Craig Siganowski, Rim Engineering, as well as Michael Blanchard on the end, the owner of the property, and Paul Jodas, the architect involved with this property. If anybody needs a copy of the plan, several. So we are proposing a house addition that includes two-car garage, house addition that would connect the garage to the existing house, removal of an existing deck in the rear of the house and a replacement with a new deck, a proposed woodshed behind the garage, as well as a patio. The wetlands resources on the property are the BVW associated with the Rumford River that runs through it. We have the mean annual high water line that was flagged by ECR, Environmental Consulting and Restoration, Brad Holmes, who also reviewed the wetlands, the BVW flags that we hung at the beginning of the project. And inside the wetlands is a 100-year floodplain that the firm map shows as elevation 188. So this is a river front redevelopment filing. I assume that you received the email this afternoon that just came in, I don't know, around 1 o'clock from DEP, questioning whether it was actually redevelopment, so we need to go over that with them. And I've talked to Brad Holmes, the botanist, this afternoon several times. The house is built in 1966 with the driveway. That's all impervious, disturbed land. It should be exempt by the regulation as it was built in 1966 prior to 1996. And we are adding on to that existing structure, so we feel it's redevelopment. It was pointed out after we had filed that in 2011, the septic system was upgraded at the time that Mr. Blanchard bought the property. Under the Rivers Act, if the septic was built prior to 1996, which assuming the house is built in 1966, the septic maybe 1967, would be exempt. And it also states that an upgrade to the system is also exempt. So we feel that that disturbance should not be included. Again, we would have to get that confirmed by DEP and the Conservation Commission and agent. With all that being said, what they would like to do, obviously, we do not have a DEP number at this time, so we'd like to get your input to the design. But in the backyard, there's a chain link fence that was put in at the edge of the lawn, which is within the 25-foot no-touch from the BVW. Mr. Blanchard has agreed to remove that fence and move it to the 25-foot buffer zone. And then between the new fence and where the old fence was, add woody shrubs as required for mitigation, as well as to allow that area to return to nature and not be mowed, and spread a conservation seed mix as mitigation for the work that we're doing that exceeds the 10% allowed in the riverfront. We're also, if you look at the front driveway, has a two-car, basically 24-foot wide driveway, and then it also has like a 12-foot horseshoe. That's all pre-existing. They've agreed to remove the portion of the horseshoe as mitigation and return that to a lawn. And we do have a recharge system designed in the rear yard for the proposed structures that are not exempt. Under the Rivers Act, the conversion of the lawn to accessory uses of a single-family house, the patio, the woodshed, and the proposed deck are all exempt. So the mitigation for the roof water is for the garage roof and the room that connects the garage to the house.
Okay. Our agent Nadia and I were out for a visit, and she has some technical issues, shall we say, to discuss. So I'll turn it over to Nadia at this time.
Yeah, so kind of, Craig, as I mentioned before, one of the things about the septic system that I wanted to point out, because the septic system upgrade did not go in front of the Conservation Commission at that time, it no longer is exempt, so then it would have to be included in the calculations as part of the 10% of the impervious. And then I know that we touched base on the wetland delineation when Bob and I both went out. It seemed like based off of either recent flooding from rainfall or just increased in the area, the water line had seemed to come closer to the fence area. So where they had marked the 18-foot and the 19-foot, it no longer was applicable. So just based off of the regulations and then also safety concerns, there was also that technical aspect of the potential of redelineating that area.
Which we, as I spoke to you this afternoon, would agree to. We need to get a time that the botanist and the agent could meet at the site to go over that.
Okay.
Yep.
But sounds like you're talking about a water that rose above the mean annual high water, whereas the regulation says we go from the mean annual high water. I understand what you mean it exceeds the floodplain of 188 because our wetlands, our BVW is at almost 189. But the riverfront is based on mean annual high water, which is average, not the highest it can be. So again, that would be between you and the botanist to decide in the field. So obviously, we were going to be asking for a continuance for that to be worked out, and we also need the DEP file number.
Right.
And then the other thing too, about the delineation, I know that on the plan, there's a part of the proposed addition that was 50.3 feet away. So that was another point that I touched on with Craig, that obviously if it was redelineated and it was less than 50 feet, then that would also have to potentially change what can be done for the proposed additions. Because you have to still keep the 10% of the total impervious area, and right now it's above it. I think it was 38 something on the plan, based off calculations.
Correct. Well, based on that, we're above the 10% at 12.28%, which is why we're proposing mitigation. That's what the mitigation is for. If we were at 10%, we wouldn't have to mitigate. So that's a little confusing. Again, needs to be gone over, but that's how we see it. Why are we're proposing 2-to-1 mitigation where river redevelopment only requires 1-to-1, and we're to get down to the 10%.
Yeah, so the regulations state that it must be within 10% prior to any sort of mitigation or like remeasurement. So because of that, it's only if you're able to, based off of the original design, if you're able to keep within that 10%, then based on the regulations, the commission can vote to have up to 5,000 square footage, but that's where the discrepancy is, because the original proposed is already above that, and you still have to show that the original is the 10%.
Well, again, I'll let the botanist and you to work that out, because that's not the understanding I have with him, but I can't speak to that.
So I
Okay.
have a couple questions. On your plan, the big plan, under the riverfront area redevelopment, the second paragraph, total disturbance, total riverfront area was 31,604. The inner riparian zone was only 5,827. And then you got the outer riparian 2,577. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I apologize. That should be reversed. I apologize for that.
It's quite significant.
The larger area is the inner.
Right.
Okay.
Another thing is, why don't, the plan at the top that shows the different proposed and existing impervious areas does not include the additional driveway that goes to the garage?
Well, it is shown on the
No.
larger, but I could show it on there if you prefer.
Right, well, it should be, I mean,
Okay.
and could you also put down the total square footage under the different proposed areas so that have a better understanding? And then somewhere on the plan, total them up so that we see what the figures are?
Okay. I don't know if you have the latest, but it is shown on, well, not the individual areas that you're asking for, but the chart is shown on the plan.
Yeah, I've seen those others, but I think make it clearer exactly what these numbers are.
Okay.
That gets you to, how much percentage you are over, and then how you work your way down. Now, why is it that the proposed deck, patio, and woodshed are exempt? They're going to be impervious.
They are, but under the riverfront exemptions, accessory uses to a conversion of a lawn to accessory uses of the single-family house. Patio is an accessory use, a deck, the shed. It specifically even states.
Does that include the old deck area that's being covered, that's going to be removed, those numbers?
Excuse me? Well, I didn't,
You have existing deck out there,
correct?
and you're gonna remove it and put a proposed deck in. So you're saying those three categories are exempt, but I don't think the area of the old deck is exempt.
I'll have to check into that.
Excuse me, we're gonna take out the old deck and put it,
Yeah, yeah, that's what he's saying.
okay.
He's saying that the old deck is not exempt.
And on your narrative, under E, the proposed, it's second page of the narrative.
Okay?
Under E, the second sentence, the proposed impervious area is equal 1,691 square feet plus 2,866, totaling 4,557. You don't say, you're saying proposed, but isn't the 169 existing? Or,
The 2866 is existing.
okay, you see, but there's no explanation of what we're trying to read here.
Okay?
286.
Yeah. Well, the line above it does say, with existing graded areas totaling 2866 square feet. So then in the second line, I didn't repeat that.
I'm just trying to get clarification of these numbers here, trying to
Okay.
understand it.
I can change that.
So, last item is, on your big plan, you state the lot abuts NHESP rare species habitat.
Right.
Under the bylaw, item number 4, rare heritage endangered species program filing, it states in there if the proposed project is located within or up to an eighth of a mile outside of the boundary of the most recent estimated habitat map, that you have to file with NHESP, shall be required by the Conservation Commission. And they must file it before the proposed project notice of intent hearing is scheduled. This is the bylaw.
Okay, that was missed then. Apologize for that.
I don't know what you want to do about that, but
Yeah.
we got a filing in here that did not follow bylaw.
Well, we can't undo the filing, so we'll have to hold on continue it until we do get the report.
And file a copy with our office here of what is submitted as required.
Okay.
And I think you probably have to show whereabouts that line is approximately on your plan. You show it on the topo maps, the little ones, roughly where it is. But I think you may be required to show it a little bit better on this
Okay.
when you submit this information.
The rear property line is the limit based on the online map.
Right, right. It shows up on the information you submitted in the package. I think they'll probably ask to have approximately where is it located on the actual site plan. As close as possible.
Yeah, on the two back, I do show the limit of it on the two back property lines.
Where do you show that?
What, the limit, he showed, here,
I'm looking at it.
limit, okay.
Anything? Okay. Then if you were going to be submitting this plan and you're showing that, you should state the source of that. Based on item 4, it lists the sources that you got to base that information on.
Okay.
And you're using Massachusetts Natural Heritage Atlas, right?
Well, excuse me?
You're using the Massachusetts Natural Heritage Atlas? That's online?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's information that should be cited on this plan.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments?
I have one, Bob. So just want to, I know I talked with you, Craig, about the porch. Just want to get some clarification. Is the porch going to have a covering, like a roof, like a overhang, or is it going to be without one?
In this back area with the, you see the shed
Yeah.
and the porch and,
I was just asking the front porch.
oh, the front porch?
Yeah.
The front porch is a farmer's porch.
Does it have a roof?
It has a roof
Okay.
over the farmer's porch.
Okay, so if it has the roof, then it will need to be added to the impervious
It's
calculations.
already included.
It's already included? Okay, so just detail that, in addition to the detail, just put that number in there for me. And the septic too, for that, just include that septic calculation.
Rebecca, any questions or comments? You're muted. Okay. Rich,
Sorry, I don't have any comments at the moment.
oh, okay, thank you. Rich?
I'm all set.
Okay, thank you. Anything from the audience? When would you like to continue this? Do you?
Well, we're
So our next two meetings are February 3rd and February 24th.
assuming an on-site meeting with the botanist and Nadia can be done before, then we'd do the 3rd.
Okay. Next Monday is a holiday, but besides that.
Okay. And then the filing date for that is the 17th, right? For the February 3rd meeting?
Right, we'd
No,
be
this is a
continued from
continuance.
this.
A
So
continuance?
nothing,
Okay.
it just gets continued.
Okay.
Do you think you'll hear back from the NHS ESP?
I'll have to reach out to them.
Okay, all right.
They have a 30-day fast track
Yep,
that you can apply for.
correct.
So you want to go for the,
Yes, we would ask for the February 3rd, please.
okay. Somebody want to make a motion to continue?
Make a motion to continue 24 Alden Street, Assessors Map 110. No DEP number yet until February 3rd.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Want to start off, Rich?
Rich, aye.
Rebecca, aye.
Tanya, I.
Bob, aye.
David, aye.
Pete, aye.
All right.
Right,
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right.
It's 7:10 PM.
Pursuant to, excuse me, Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, and Foxborough's Wetland Protection Bylaw, Chapter 267, the Conservation Commission will open a public hearing on Monday, January 13th, 2025, 7:10 PM in the Galen Meeting Room, Foxborough Town Hall, 40 South Street, or via Zoom, on a notice of intent filed by David Clayman for the construction of a garage and a breezeway at 12 Creighton Lane, Assessors Map 44, Parcel 38. Portions of the proposed work lie within 100 feet of a resource area. The application is available for public inspection in the Conservation Office at Town Hall, and this notice can also be found on the Massachusetts Newspaper Publishers Association website.
Good evening.
Good evening. We lost somebody.
Did we scare her away?
No, she's trying to get her plan
Okay.
right side up.
Oh,
There you go.
Okay. Hello.
Hi.
For the record, my name is Karen Skinnicatroni, I'm Wetland Delineator. I'm here representing the owners of 12 Creighton Lane. The applicant is proposing a 32 by 22-foot garage, 12.6-foot by 8-foot breezeway, and a new driveway. The breezeway is being proposed for a handicapped child, so that will be covered as access in and out of the house from the garage. The site was flagged in October of 2024. The wetlands are in the rear of the property. As you can see, it's the Neponset Reservoir. So it's a pretty clear line. I don't know if anybody looked at it. It's, yeah. There is floodplain on the map, but there's no work proposed within the floodplain. So the grading in the front, you can see the swales that direct the water towards the rear. The grading kind of goes towards the house. That's why he's graded that to take the water to the back. The driveway is also graded towards those swales, so that will be picked up. The garage roof is drip recharge trench, so there's not going to be any gutters. It's just going to fall into a trench on the ground underneath the roof line. There's a stockpile area shown outside of the 100-foot buffer zone, and we're showing compost sock as erosion control. So this has been before the ZBA and was approved. So basically, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, again, Nadia and I visited the site. And how did you get rid of all that knotweed?
For a long time. We hired a machine and a guy for about 4 days, and he just scraped and scraped. We bought two dumpsters, two 30-yard dumpsters, and they took it all away. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know what's going to come back in the spring, but we'll see.
It looks a lot better than it did.
A lot better than it did. We got in between all those trees, and they did a lot of work.
Okay. So that's a heck of an improvement. So
Thank you so much.
And I personally don't have any problems with it. Any questions from the board?
I guess so.
Okay.
Your erosion control that was put in, the silt fence and that, were we informed that you were going to be doing that or anything like that work? Were you disturbing within the buffer and
The fence itself?
in buffer area itself? I know you came in to discuss this.
I came in about trees, but I put that in really just to keep any debris from getting into the reservoir. I don't even think I came here to discuss. I put in where there's like a little indent there. I put in some like a hay bale, and then I put the silt, hoping stuff wouldn't blow from the construction into the reservoir. But
It's just that needs immediate improvement.
I
Because
haven't
you've got the water coming around naturally from the front of the house with these rains.
Yeah.
And it's just going around to the right-hand side.
Yeah.
And luckily you got a silt sock in part of the area where the old dock used to be.
Yeah.
And, that's a natural area where it'd be going out. Luckily you got that, but that's not good enough.
What do you need? I'll do whatever you need.
I think you need to attend to putting in something to stop that flow from coming around the right side of the house. The left side is pretty sandy.
Yeah.
And it's, it's up high, and the grade goes towards the house, so you're not getting that runoff. It's all coming from the compacted area where the roll-off is and where everybody, drives on. And
What are your suggestions? I mean, I don't know much about this type of thing. Hay bales?
well, hay bales aren't that efficient. There's silt sock with a silt fence behind it, but the silt fence has to be dug into the ground. And the silt sock is usually put up in the front of it. If you have a contractor or that, he knows exactly what to do.
I'll ask them.
And you show it on the plan where it's going to be.
Yeah.
And so just follow that plan. And then you might want to just, because you're not going to be doing the lawn for a while, and putting swales, and you might want to put another row of some type of flow control silt sock or something to get that flow down.
I have no
Because
issue
it's
with
coming in all the way in front of the house, roll off, it's all compacted. You're gonna have problems going into the springtime.
Yeah.
And you get too much pressure on the rear of the erosion controls, they'll either fill in or wash out if they're not done right.
Okay. We'll take care of it.
Not any,
And when you're saying right side of the house, is when you're looking at straight on, the right side?
If you look on the ground, you can see how it's flowing,
Yeah.
so.
any questions, comments? You?
No.
Rebecca, questions, comments?
No,
Rich?
All set, all set.
Okay. Again, we do not have a file number, so we cannot close it. Do you want to come back on the 3rd as well?
Yes, that's good. Third is good.
Okay, so by one,
Make a motion to allow them to put in that erosion control to stop anything from, in the meantime.
yep.
Anybody want to second that?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Rich, I.
Rebecca, I.
Tanya, I.
Bob, aye.
David, aye.
Pete, aye.
So we continue till 2/3.
His motion was to install erosion control, so now you need
Okay,
another
so
one
now
to
we
continue
have
it to
another
February 3rd.
motion. Okay.
Motion to, what is it, motion to continue? Motion to
Continue.
come back.
To continue until the 3rd.
Make a motion to continue to the 3rd, 12 Creighton Lane, no DEP number?
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Rich, I.
Rebecca, I.
Tanya, I.
Bob, aye.
David, aye.
Pete, aye.
All right. Thank you very much.
Time. Take
See
care.
ya.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. In 7:15, we have 71 Lakeview Road.
Kind of to the right of the podium.
Okay.
Then one of these cameras here can, if you want it.
Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, Wetland Protection Act, and Foxborough's Wetland Protection Bylaw, Chapter 267, the Conservation Commission will open a public hearing on Monday, January 13th, 2025, at 7:15 PM in the Galen Meeting Room, Foxborough Town Hall, 40 South Street, or via Zoom on a notice of intent filed by Paul and Sandra Sweeney for the construction of a 284-square-foot addition at 71 Lakeview Road, Assessors Map 77, Parcel 8. Portions of the proposed work lie within 100 feet of a resource area. The application is available for public inspection in the Conservation Office at Town Hall. This notice can also be found on the Massachusetts Newspaper Publishers Association website.
Hi, I'm Debbie Anderson. I'm the wetlands consultant on the project. I'm here with
Luke Sherry.
Sherry. Thank you, Luke.
Yep. Paul Schneider.
Okay.
The homeowner and the builder.
How are you?
Sorry?
I said, how are you?
Oh, okay, okay, gotcha.
Now, did you sign in? I saw you come in a little bit.
I did not. I apologize.
Okay. Before you leave, please.
I didn't either, so I will
Okay.
try to do that as well.
All right.
So we do have a DEP file number, which is good. So the proposed project is a 284 square foot addition onto the right side of the existing single-family house. The existing house is 1,344 square feet, and it was built in 1960. The addition will be constructed on concrete piers. The area that the addition will be placed is currently lawn area, and we don't propose to remove any trees or natural vegetation for the project. I delineated the bordering vegetated wetlands back in September. There's no potential or certified vernal pools or estimated or priority habitat within any distance to the house. The house is located in the Water Resource Protection District, and the proposed impervious is below 15%. Since it will be constructed on piers, we don't think that we're going to need a stockpile area for soil, and the area will be accessed via the existing driveway.
Oop, not through the driveway. The plan, it shows a construction access to the right of the building, or to the right of the house.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I noticed that we were out there. There's no way you're going to get any equipment through that driveway.
I'm sorry. My apologies.
Okay, so could you just, on the narrative, second paragraph, the work will be accessed via the existing driveway.
Yes, I will change
Could
that.
you send that paperwork? Because you're not going to put anything through there. So, just a minor typo.
I will take care of that.
Okay, what kind of equipment are you going to use to dig the footings?
So they're actually going to be helical piles. I wrote it down as a note. So they're actually going to be helical piles, which I'm sure you guys are accustomed to those, where it'll be a small machine done by Techno Metal Post that, I think it's about 7 feet high. It's no heavier than, it's less than a Bobcat.
Okay.
Or a skid steer rather, that will come in and drive the helical piles. I don't know the number offhand, but yeah, there won't be any digging.
Okay, that's good.
Unless we hit something that is unforeseen, but let's hope for the best.
As I like to say, we live in Roxborough.
Roxborough, yes, yeah, I know.
I don't, Nadia, you had a couple of questions, I do believe.
Yeah, I think you touched on that one. I was also wondering about which way you were going to access to put the machinery through, because when we went out there, obviously the left side of the home did not seem feasible for that. And then I know for the addition, I don't know if it was clarified on the plan or the narrative, but is that a livable space, or is that going to be like a dining room, living room?
It's an extension to the bedroom along with a bathroom.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments?
Are they putting any drainage into the ground?
Wait a minute. Roof runoff?
Yeah.
Doesn't show any.
For the gutters?
And we tried to, as part of stormwater management, they tried to get as much permeable roof area into the ground.
Okay.
Instead of flowing off, onto the grass, get it into the ground, into the water table.
Okay. Obviously we don't, I think it's above 600 square feet where we'd have to do a tank. Are you thinking something in terms of just like a dry well or something like that, or?
You get an engineer, work with the engineer, come up with something pretty simple.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe in a trench.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments? Rebecca, were you able to see the plans?
Yes, I have the plans in front of me.
Okay, okay. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay. Rich?
No, I'm fine too.
Okay, thank you. With this one, we can close it. We have a file number. Any questions from the audience? Somebody want to make a motion to close the hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the hearing for 71 Lakeview Road, DEP number 651.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Rich, aye.
Rebecca, I.
Tanya, I.
Bob, aye.
David, aye.
Pete, aye.
I have a draft order of conditions. I imagine that Tanya will add the standard conditions, but you guys could approve it tonight, sign it, and then we could get it off to them.
Okay.
We could mention to change that.
Yeah,
You can add a condition to update the plan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What's that?
You need a motion.
Here we go. Let's close it, right?
No, we already
It's
closed it. You need a
closed.
motion to endorse the order of conditions.
Oh. Make a motion to endorse the order conditions for DEP 157, 651 to include conditions surrounding impervious runoff from new roof
And the correction to the
and
plan.
the corrections to the plan for construction equipment coming on and off property.
A second.
Discussion? All in favor? Rich?
Rich, aye.
Rebecca, I.
Tanya, I.
Bob, aye.
David, aye.
Pete, aye.
How many hard copies do you need of the revised plan?
We can just do the one large copy in a PDF.
Okay. Thanks.
I think they need the updated framing plan too, right?
The updated what?
The updated plan for the, from CME.
Yeah, if you get us the updated plan in the next couple days, she'll finish off the order with the standard conditions and those two conditions, and then we'll send it off to you.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Good one.
Sign on the way out. Oh, okay. We have a continuation for Eisenhauer Lane, DEP file 157650. Mr. Gray.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. For the record, my name's Cameron Gray. I'm here to continue the discussion about our project at 1 Eisenhower Lane. So when we last met, the commission had requested that we include some additional information on our plans. So in that time, I've resubmitted a revised plan. Some of the comments included, you wanted additional details about the proposed dock that was to be installed. You also wanted to review the way we were running the path down to the dock and additional details about the clearing within the buffer zone. So we were able to conduct a site walk in which Bob, Dave, and Nadia were able to attend. So we were able to bang in a couple beam poles where we wanted to do the proposed path, and we had all the trees that are proposed to be removed marked. So in that time, the survey crew went out there and located those trees as well as those beam poles. And I drafted them on the revised plan, so you can find those trees in red. And then I adjusted the path down to the water. And then with the resubmittal packet, I also included the instructions for the dock that's proposed to be installed. So the manufacturer is Patriot Dock, and we're proposing a low-profile floating dock that will have aluminum decking. And as I stated before, we're proposing that this dock be installed year-round. But after speaking with Nadia, she requested that we include maintenance or a storage area off the path there.
Okay.
So if you look on the path, just outside that 25-foot no disturbed, I include a small area for them to store the dock and perform any maintenance. But again, this dock is going to be all aluminum, so I don't anticipate much maintenance with it. It shouldn't rust and should be pretty resistant to corrosion. But I think with that, it kind of touches on all the revisions.
Nadia, you happy with it?
Yeah.
Any questions, comments from the board?
Yeah.
Yep.
Why are we taking out the dead trees in the 25-foot no-touch zone? That's habitat.
So those were the trees that were marked that we had discussed out there. So I know that pine tree you guys said you're okay with, I thought. And then there's a completely dead one in there that was also marked.
Again, I come back to the question, that's habitat. In the no-disturb zone. I mean, I'm glad you moved the path all over to the right, so avoid taking down that big pine with any machinery.
Yeah.
That, you know, thank you for that, but I see here you got 2 dead trees in the no-touch zone. I did mention that out there when we were out there, then why are we taking down dead trees?
Yeah. So would you just rather have it run its course and we'll just not remove them?
It's habitat.
Okay.
Another reason for no, well, it's up to the commission. You guys can discuss this, but
Yeah, just leave them.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not a danger, right? That's not why you're trying to move them.
Yeah, they're gonna fall on someone?
no.
No, I mean, the pine tree, or well, I'm sorry, the dead tree, we just had it close to the path, so I know originally our client had wanted to do the path more over that way, so I think I probably just, that remained on the plan, because we ended up shifting the path in the field, and when I went out and located it, and then I think he just had marked that tree, that T12 is completely dead and snapped off, so.
It's not going to create a hazard for anybody?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, comments?
The, what do you want to call them, pilings, are these the type that you screw into the mud?
Yeah, so this will be, it's a sleeve and piling. It's what they referred to it within the assembly instructions, but it's got to be using the auger at the bottom, and it'll go down into the lake bed.
Okay. Just don't disturb the mussels. I don't think you'll find them out there because it's all mud. But
Yeah, it's kind of a swampy area in
if you
there.
go over to Kersey Point, there's a ton of mussels.
Oh,
Yes, there's probably, Jane said there's probably 3 different species out there in the reservoir. But they like the sandy, stony bottom.
Yeah.
do we have to make a formal,
The hearing was continued, so you can close the hearing.
okay,
And I have a draft order that just has to be finalized, so you can vote to endorse the order. It'll have you didn't change the date on the plans, you just added.
No, but I
the
just
date.
added the revision down there in the corner.
I'll move to close the hearing.
do I hear a second?
Second the motion?
All in favor? Our discussion, anybody? All in favor?
Rich, aye.
Rebecca, aye.
Tanya, aye.
Bob, aye.
David, aye.
Pete, aye.
You say you have some order of conditions all
Yep.
set? Do I hear a recommendation to sign the order of conditions?
The standard orders already inserted?
No, she kind of does that afterwards,
Okay.
so you can motion to endorse it with standard conditions.
Make a motion that we endorse the order of conditions for DEP 157, DEP 157650 with the additional standard conditions added.
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Rich, aye.
Rebecca, aye.
Tanya, aye.
Bob, aye.
David, aye.
Pete, aye.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We did that, we did that. Do you have a representative for Water Street?
You want to do Water Street? Bill sent a letter. Bill Buckley sent a letter and some pictures. Keep this.
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Gray, you want to speak to Water Street?
Yep, so Bill went out there and did inspection and just had me submit a small narrative as well as some pictures.
Okay. Again, Nadia and I were, one of our visits, I was happy with it.
Yes, this is a partial only for that lot with the old house on it.
Yes.
The rest of it will come later.
Yeah, the main house has got a lot of work to do yet. But, yeah, so this would be a partial certificate of compliance.
I was out there, and they did, it's a beautiful job.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of work that they put in.
Yeah.
Removing, unfortunately, invasives will still creep in, but if they have to keep the lawn up, maybe they can keep it down.
Yeah, I know, well, it's come a long way from what was there, definitely.
Very definitely. So, anybody, any other questions, comments?
I have a comment. I know in one of my recommendations in there, I already emailed the applicant, but I let them know that they need to submit an as-built plan for what has been completed and a letter stating what is remaining to be achieved, just like the technical aspect of it.
This is an as-built.
They sent the as-built? Did they send the letter narrative?
He sent, yeah, Bill has a letter.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
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 Let's see. Okay, so-
Now, if they get a partial for this, do they have to come back to get
Yep,
a regular,
this one's good.
For the house. Oh, yeah.
for this lot? Do they have to come back to get it?
No, no. This completes this one.
So I have a partial certificate of compliance written up. You guys need to vote to endorse it.
Don't everybody speak at once.
I make a motion to endorse the partial
Certificate of compliance.
certificate of compliance for, 31 Water Street, DEP 157-610.
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Rich, aye.
Rebecca, aye.
Tanya, aye.
Bob, aye.
David, aye.
Pete, aye.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere. Walnut Street's next one. That's it.
I'll give you my other pen, my spare pen.
Busy night.
Yeah.
I can't sit right on the counter at home.
The thing's busted, but I have a Mayo Clinic pen. There you go.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, we're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is 33 Walnut Street. Mr. Buckley. The other Mr. Buckley,
Yeah. Good looking one.
the retired one.
That's it. So this is the hole number 16. My name's Tom Buckley, 21 Hill Street, representing the Foxborough Country Club. So this is the hole 16 project, where they had done some grading in front of the green, And also put in some drainage and raised up the existing grading on one side of the hole, the northern side, as you're looking at the plan, and pulled out some of the muck inside that pond. Bay Colony Group went out there, did the as-built plan, and Mr. Bodie and Nadia and myself walked it about a week and a half ago. Time's kind of all over the place. So Bill Buckley has looked at the plans, and the letter to the board is enclosed.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Questions, comments?
There was the bridge also too, was planned to be replaced, and it was replaced. It's shown on the plans.
Yeah, that's what I've got, okay. This bridge.
There's a wood bridge here, too.
Yeah, wasn't touched. This is the one that we did.
So you walked in and looked okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
We didn't hit any balls while we were out there. It was a cold day.
Did you do this this fall?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Did anybody come out from the office to see you before you started doing work out there?
I don't think they did.
It's fine, trying to find out if, the office was informed, so that someone is aware that you were doing the work.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I know the superintendent of the club. I'm not sure if he reached out to the...
I think John might have went there, but I'm not sure. You could ask him. I don't
I can ask John.
Yeah.
Okay. I only ask because usually in those permits, they have a requirement that
Right.
before the work is started.
Yeah, with John working part-time, it was...
Probably not, yeah.
well,
I did,
he may have gone out there, but he didn't notify.
I did tell him about it and
Yeah.
when he started working for us.
Yeah.
That there are 2 projects out here.
Yep. So,
At least you had dry weather to do it.
It wasn't bad at that point.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It was supposed to be done last year,
Yep.
but it was too much water.
any other questions, comments?
Gotta make a motion.
Yep.
Make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance for 33 Walnut Street, DEP 157611. Is that the right one?
No.
Yep,
Yeah.
611, yep.
Is it? Billy has 2400646.
That's like, that's some number that you guys give it. But that's not a DEP number, so that's your like project number, but then if you look at the form,
Oh, okay.
it's written right.
All right, yeah, he put it up here and...
Yes, usually he would put the DEP number, so I don't know what that number is. I'm assuming that's some project number that you guys use at Bay Colony,
Okay.
because ours would be 157 dash something. Yeah.
I second the motion.
Discussion? All in favor?
Rich, aye.
Rebecca, aye.
Tanya, aye.
Bob, aye.
David, aye.
Pete, aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Does it work?
Okay.
Can I give you a bum pen?
The NRRC,
Rich had asked that that be put on the agenda,
what, the
the
floating...
NRRC thing, all the
Yeah.
NRRC, so.
Rich, do you have an update or any updates on that at all?
Yes, yeah. On the dredging, well, not the dredging, the floating islands, one of the options was to dredge. They are looking at a second option, which would be to put stakes, long tubular stakes with holes in them that would aerate the gas and allow the gas to come up without being trapped underneath the peat. And that's obviously a significantly much cheaper alternative than trying to dredge and then dealing with whatever issues you have from the stuff you pull out. So they're looking at that. They're not sure yet. We're going to have another meeting on it with someone who does it on a regular basis, or they are, I should say, to discuss it further.
Tubes would be probably environmentally much preferred as well, or would they not?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons. If it works and stops it, because they're only trying to cure is the peat floating up, creating islands, which are a danger to boaters, because they don't know them. They're not used to them being there and whatnot. And they appear and float everywhere. So it's something they need to address somehow. But this could be a better alternative for everybody. They also will have a weed treatment coming up. And they're going to want to be on the docket in one of the February meetings, probably the later one. And they're essentially looking again at the two options, which would be one to treat the entire lake reservoir, which would that costs a little under twice what it would do to treat just the spot treatments that they did. Now, the advantage of treating spot treatments is you're putting down less chemical, but you're doing it more often because you're not covering the whole lake. When they do the whole lake, they cover the whole lake, and oftentimes, as we found last time, that they didn't need to do any treatment the year after, and it was less the year after that. So it's really just a judgment call, and they're trying to get a handle on that. So if they want to do a whole treatment of the lake, they need to do it early. If they wait until later on in May or June, it'll be too late to do it. So they may come to us with a proposal to approach the whole lake and reasons why, but they will not have the survey of the weeds done, because that doesn't happen until, I think, May or June.
Okay.
Anyways, those are the two options that'll be coming to us at some point.
Is it mostly fanwort that they're trying to get rid of at this time, or?
We haven't really talked about the types of plants just yet, but fanwort is always on there.
Okay.
And again, that's a discussion to follow. The other thing I wanted to mention is on Edwards, the boat ramp for Edwards Road. I wanted to make sure that we reached out to the highway department, that they went down there and they did add another stone. They added a fourth one, so there are 4 stones now, as opposed to moving the larger one that was halfway down there, down to the water.
Okay, good.
We still may have issues. It's a good wall, but still allows boaters kayakers and whatnot to carry over. But they're still small enough that these trucks that come in there, the fishermen, can move them. If they pose a problem, we might think about maybe having stakes put in around the poles, just 1 or 2, to stop them from being easily moved or slid up along the driveway. But we'll wait and see if we have more issues.
All right, good.
They did do a water sample at a Gungeon Brook, and that water supply, the water samples came back with a higher content than allowed in the drinking waters. And I don't know the specifics. I don't propose to understand the specifics. But in either case, because the NRRC did it, they're required now to notify the DEP and they're required to notify the town and the owner of the property. So they'll put together some letter that will detail out. I don't know if they have or not yet. I don't think they have. But,
Yeah, we got CC'd on an email this afternoon.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I don't know what the conclusions are there, but because I had not just seen the letter or anything. And then the other issue or question I had that I don't know if we've researched any answers. My issue with the culverized stream or ditch that was by the building that they took down on the Foxborough company, the old Foxborough building, the one that was they took down the building that was the whole issue that polluted the reservoir, and never came came before us. And I think they should have, because that culverized stream, from everything I've seen, is considered a riverway or a river stream under the definition. But I don't know if Nadia, you have looked at that at all, or?
No, I'm not aware of it, but I can look into it.
Okay. And I think that was it.
Okay, thank you.
That stream hooks up to the one that goes underneath the floor.
Okay.
And comes out as it broke.
Okay. Okay, Beaver Management. Who wants to talk about beavers? Do you want to start us off, Nadia, or were you?
Sure.
I did not see the Lowleys. Did they decide not to show up, or?
I didn't hear back from them.
Okay.
We did send an email to them a couple weeks ago, letting them know they're gonna be on the agenda.
Okay.
But we didn't hear anything after that.
So, was it best no action at this point in time, you recommend?
Yeah, so my recommendation, just kind of based off, obviously, my notes that I wrote, it seems that the area wasn't, when I say it's not evidence enough, but there weren't really those typical sightings you would see for an active beaver lodge area, where the homeowners had said where the flooding is, it's much farther away from where the lodge actually is and where the spillway is. So for me, just based off of that information, with obviously it's a cranberry bog, so there's going to be an increase in water flow and flooding, but it didn't seem like those lodges were active, and if they are, didn't seem to be posing a threat. I know that the homeowners also had mentioned that they saw beavers on their property, but we didn't receive any sort of images or photographs showing that there were beaver trapping. And obviously right now, there is not enough in a conservation budget to have that trapping be done by the town if they did want to go that route. But for me, there just wasn't enough evidence to think that they should be trapping the potential beavers on the site.
Okay.
Trapping the beavers wouldn't be our call anyways, right? That's what wildlife management's call.
Yeah, well, the applicants are supposed to go through them, but the applicant had requested and called me specifically to say that they would like the town to take care of it on their behalf. So it was me and the Board of Health were talking with them about even if they were to try to go about with the town, it's not feasible for us to do that. We did give them the resources for it. They did want to go that route, but I haven't heard anything from them if they wanted to contact them.
Is this the same beaver, because we talked about this a few years ago?
Yeah, same one.
That's also flooding into the state forest, right?
Yeah.
And we were also trying to work with, he's not there anymore.
Oh, that's a different one.
No, that's different.
All right, that's what I'm trying to clarify in my head. So we got, all right, it's two. Never mind.
Sorry.
Yep, no, that's fine. We're getting busy.
This is Nadia, we're referring to the one that we went to with the Board of Health, you and I and David.
Yes, yep, 61 Granite, yep.
Granite, right, I couldn't, street.
Yep.
Yeah, their property that floods is right at it's right at the water level for the bog. So it's hard for that not to flood with a whole lot. But they did demonstrate, or they did explain to us that their spillway that was right by a little dam that was by them was filling up continuously with sticks. But as Nadia said, there was no evidence that,
Float there
that
naturally.
we had that it was, that the beavers did or didn't float there. But the other spillway did have some signs of beaver, but it appeared, there didn't look like anything fresh, but this was the middle of winter, so I don't know.
They go, on the second spillway, they do go and visit it and to remove some of the sticks that are built up. And you can see the piles of material that they've been, putting off to the side. And there's an actual rake, a climb digger's rake out there, and a pair of rubber gloves and everything. So you know that someone's out there moving them. Unfortunately, it floods his garden more often, their garden more often. And I think that's one of their concerns. It doesn't affect their septic system, nor the building, nor any public infrastructures in the area. So the nuisance is more that their ability to have in the garden is quite limited.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the Board of Health did issue an inspection log, obviously, after the visit. And just based off of the Board of Health requirements, there wasn't anything with the, like groundwater. There wasn't any groundwater or zoning issues, and obviously, where the lodges were located, it's conservation land and neighbor property. So even if they were to trap, they would also have to receive, the approval from us and the neighbor.
And you can trap now until April.
Yeah.
And there are some trappers, John mentioned that he knew some trappers in the eastern part of the state that still do this as part of their living. So they could hire
somebody on their own property.
Yeah, as long as they get permission from us and the neighbor.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they could hire a trapper that would go through the Fish and Game requirements. And as long as they have
That one's
permission,
gonna go through the Fish and Game.
then you could go to remove them, but not the dam structure.
Yeah, and then in the citizens guide and beaver management policy, some of the wording in there that said even if they do trap the beavers, they have to do it like non-lethally. But then also when talking with John and some others, they were mentioning that some trappers out there do not do it non-lethally. So there's also that other issue if we were to allow that, because that isn't part of like our policy.
But those trappers probably have a license to take the fur. And that's,
Yeah, it would be lethal if they take the fur.
Correct. Yeah.
Anything else?
I just wanted to remind the commission, I know that you guys have been doing a lot of site visits and many other things for me while we didn't have an agent, but now that we have an agent, if you guys have any of these existing projects that you're going to visit, please stop by the office and invite Nadia, get her up to speed on, the subdivisions we've approved in the past year or so, so she can get to know the area and what the projects are. I know, Rich, you sent pictures of, you put 206 East Street, but I think you meant 204.
East Street?
206 is a different one.
Okay.
We can't hear you.
You're on mute.
Sorry, yes, 204, yes, I realize that after I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say send me an email if anyone's interested in doing a site visit, and then I can obviously coordinate with my schedule, because I'm happy to go on any site visits that interest anyone. I just need to be notified, obviously, in advance.
Anything else?
That's all I got. Our other confusion in life, they put us on online permitting, so we're kind of getting hybrid things now. Some people are applying online, some people are bringing them in person. Eventually, it's all going to end up being online, but I don't know if they're going to get you guys like Chromebooks or something to look at the applications during the meetings, or if they're going to have to bring me applications and I'm going to have to make copies myself.
Yeah, that might be a budget thing. Especially getting
If the
Chromebooks.
town wants to buy them for us, yeah, sure, but,
I know they have them in there that the selectmen use, but I don't know
I see,
if other people could use them.
I see.
I think get them from the school department. I mean, all the kids in school have them, so they must rotate them.
Problem with that is you submitting plans, they would be so small that it's very hard to see the details.
Well,
even
this
if
is why
try.
you zoom.
Then you don't see the whole picture when you're trying to follow it across.
I mean, right now, I think it says you could apply online, but you need to bring, at least one set of plans to the office, preferably one large size.
With your
But-
machine working now, you can print up a plan if someone wants a larger one.
Yeah, it's just logistics now, like they don't have, right now, they can't really, they don't have the, how to,
The fees?
work out the fee. Like the state has this whole list of how to work out the fee, and that's not on the online permitting. So it's kind of a hybrid
work
right
in
now
progress.
because they're still working on it. But Board of Health has been on it for a while, and the building department, but I know the building department's completely different from most people that have hearings. But Board of Health has been doing it for a while. So they're switching away from paper, like Diane has some piece of paper that says, this is an online permit that she keeps in the folders. Because that's the goal, I guess, is to eliminate all the paper.
I'm too old for that.
So, stay tuned.
Okay. Anything else?
This isn't official business, but since we have two people online, did we come up with a date that we're getting together or no?
I haven't heard you've got the tally.
Yeah,
think you
so
said
so
5.
basically Rebecca can't come on the 16th, but Nadia and Peter can't come on the 23rd. So therefore, the 16th is winning.
So I could do.
I could probably come late to the 16th. It depends on what time it is.
Yeah, the
I just won't be back
the
to
way
Foxborough
Jim's
till like
email
8.
read it said like 5 or 5:30 to 8 o'clock.
Or conversely, like, we could come for the first half of the 23rd, and then have to skedaddle after that.
Well, basically, do you want to do it this Thursday or next Thursday? I just got to tell Jim because the guy held both dates.
Yeah. Tanya?
Either.
Yeah, I
Either.
can't do it this Thursday.
What's
So
that,
Rebecca,
Rich?
you could come later on the 16th?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't get there till like between 7:30 and 8, but
So that would be just
Still be worth
before
it.
it's all done. All right. Peter, could you change it to the 16th?
So could I change it? So I said I could come the 23rd.
Yes.
Yeah, we would just probably have to leave a little early, that's all. Yeah, or leave for the second half, rather, so we could be there from the early side. Sure.
Or you're here for the 6th, yeah, so I don't know, what do you want to do?
Sounds like the 23rd.
But Nadia had issues with the 23rd.
Probably the 23rd.
Yeah, I can only do 16th.
I can't do either because I have meetings for the next 2 Thursdays, so.
I'm either.
All right, Mr. Chairman, you can make a decision. Put you on the spot.
Someone flip a coin.
Yes. Somebody got a coin real quick?
Don't.
Does that be Thursday?
Yeah, they're both Thursdays.
This Thursday and
This
next
Thursday and next Thursday.
Is there a reason we're doing it Thursdays?
I think that's the availability that was available
I see.
For the room?
for the, yeah, it's. Because they had the
I
16th.
see you go with the 16th, and I'll just do my best to get there.
Okay.
All right.
You can make the 16th.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
16th.
16th. So 16th at 5:30, it says 5:30 to 8, so
So this Thursday.
this
All
Thursday.
right.
Okay,
I'll probably be a little late.
all right. All righty, this Thursday?
I'll send out an email.
Okay.
This was online.
Yep, we're online, yep.
Well, but they're online, so we can't talk to them otherwise, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Anyway, so make
With
a
that-
motion to close.
Motion to adjourn,
Make a motion to adjourn meeting?
I second the motion.
discussion, all in favor?
Rich, aye.
Rebecca, aye.
Tanya, aye.
Bye-bye.
David, I.
Pete, aye.
Thank you, one and all.